In the depths of a forgotten research station, J. Park moved silently through corridors that hadn't seen human life for 500,000 years. Dust-covered panels flickered with ancient technology, remnants of humanity's last desperate attempt to preserve its existence. His hands, steady and precise, worked across quantum restoration interfaces that hummed with dormant potential. The station hung in the cold embrace of space, a hidden sanctuary orbiting a distant, unremarkable star. Massive data archives surrounded J, each crystal storage unit containing fragments of human history, memories, genetic codes, and the painful record of humanity's extinction. Centuries of research had led to this moment. The Galactic Council believed they had completely erased human civilization, eliminating every trace of a species they considered dangerous and unpredictable. But they had made one critical mistake. They never found this hidden archive. J's fingers traced complex quantum algorithms, awakening systems that had been dormant for millennia. Ancient computer cores began to pulse with energy, holographic displays flickering to life with fragmented images of Earth, blue oceans, sprawling cities, and the vibrant civilization that once dominated a small planet. The primary restoration protocol was surprisingly simple. Recover genetic information, reconstruct historical data, prepare for revival. A small device on Jay's wrist, a quantum AI named Area, processed information faster than any known computing system. It analyzed genetic fragments, reconstructing complete DNA sequences with mathematical precision. Each recovered strand was a piece of humanity's lost legacy. Genetic integrity at 87.6%. Area's soft voice echoed through the empty station. Preliminary. Restoration protocol successful. Jay understood the magnitude of his mission. This wasn't just about preservation. This was about revenge. The Galactic Council had not just destroyed Earth. They had systematically eliminated every human colony, every settlement, every trace of human existence. Massive storage units began to activate. Cryogenic chambers that had remained sealed for 500,000 years started their revival sequences. Each chamber contained carefully preserved human genetic material, survivors who had been hidden away, waiting for this exact moment. The station's environmental systems adjusted. Temperature, atmospheric composition, radiation levels, everything was being prepared for the first wave of human revival. Jay watched as the first genetic samples began to reconstruct themselves, cellular structures, rebuilding with incredible speed. Area continued its analysis, identifying key genetic lines with high probability of survival and enhanced capabilities. Filtering for strategic potential, Jay knew they couldn't just resurrect humans. They needed a generation prepared for what was coming, a generation ready to face the civilization that had tried to exterminate them. Outside the station's protective shields, the universe remained vast and indifferent. Distant stars continued their ancient dance, unaware that humanity was about to write its most important chapter. The first complete genetic sequence stabilized. A human embryo, perfect and pristine, began its initial development cycle. It would be the first of many, a new generation born with a singular purpose. Arya's voice broke the silence again. Restoration Protocol 7 Alpha activated. First-generation genetic reconstruction complete. J. Park allowed himself a small smile. The Galactic Council thought they had won. They thought humanity was gone forever. They were wrong. Revenge would be patient. Revenge would be precise. And when it came, it would be devastating. The station continued its work, silent and methodical. Humanity was preparing to return. The first cry echoed through the sterile chamber, sharp and unexpected. Hayakim opened her eyes, not as an infant but as a fully formed human with centuries of compressed knowledge flooding her neural pathways. Around her, other revival pods began to activate. The seed ship's soft blue lights illuminated rows of carefully prepared humans, each one different, yet connected by a singular genetic purpose. Area's voice whispered through hidden speakers, providing initial orientation data directly into their enhanced brains. Hai's first coherent thought was, not confusion but clarity. She understood immediately who she was, why she existed, and what needed to be done. The Galactic Council's betrayal played like a documentary in her mind. The systematic destruction of Earth, the complete elimination of human colonies, the arrogant belief that humanity could be erased. Her body was different from ancient human records. Muscles enhanced with nanobiological structures, neural networks that could process information faster than any previous biological computer, and sensory capabilities that extended far beyond traditional human limitations. The seed ship itself was a marvel of hidden technology. Floating silently between star systems, it had been designed as the ultimate survival mechanism. Completely undetectable by any known scanning technology, it carried the genetic potential of human resurrection. Other humans began to awaken. Some emerged with military training embedded in their memories, others with scientific and technological expertise. Each was a carefully constructed piece of a larger revenge strategy. A holographic display activated in the central chamber, showing the complete history of humanity's destruction. Star systems where human colonies once thrived were now marked as graveyards. Entire civilizations erased, reduced to nothing more than historical footnotes. "We are the return," Arya announced, its voice calm and emotionless. "We are the consequence of galactic arrogance." Hai studied the star maps, her enhanced brain calculating potential attack vectors and strategic invasion points. The Galactic Council believed humanity was extinct. They would soon learn how wrong they were. Training simulations began automatically. Combat scenarios, technological infiltration strategies, and advanced warfare protocols cascaded through their collective consciousness. Each awakened human was becoming a weapon, precision engineered for a specific purpose. The ship's medical systems continued their work, fine-tuning each human's biological capabilities. Immune systems redesigned to resist unknown pathogens, skeletal structures reinforced, cellular regeneration enhanced beyond previous biological limitations. Outside the ship's protective quantum shields, space remained vast and indifferent. Distant stars continued their ancient dance, unaware that a new force was preparing to challenge the established galactic order. Hai walked to the observation deck, her movements fluid and precise. Star systems passed like distant memories, each one potentially holding a piece of the civilization that had destroyed humanity. "Preparation phase complete," Arya announced. "First-generation revival successful." The other awakened humans gathered, their expressions a mixture of purpose and controlled anger. They were not victims. They were architects of a new future, a future where humanity would not just survive, but dominate. Genetic memories merged with enhanced cognitive capabilities. They knew every detail of their mission. They understood the cost of revenge, and they were ready. The seed ship continued its silent journey through the darkness of space, undetectable, unstoppable, carrying the genetic promise of human resurrection. Hai looked at her fellow awakened humans. No words were necessary. They all understood the mission, they all knew the plan. The Galactic Council thought they had won. They were wrong. Humanity was coming back. And this time, there would be no mercy. Wu Choi moved like a digital ghost through the Galactic Council's communication networks. His fingers, enhanced with quantum interface capabilities, danced across holographic displays that flickered with stolen encryption codes. The infiltration had begun quietly. No alarms, no sudden disruptions. Just microscopic changes that would slowly unravel entire systems. Each touch was a weapon, each line of code a potential destruction mechanism. The Galactic Council's infrastructure was massive, a complex network of communication relays, trade, routes, and administrative systems that had remained unchanged for thousands of years. They believed their technology was impenetrable. They were wrong. Wu's neural implants allowed him to see beyond normal visual spectrums. Communication channels appeared like rivers of light, each stream carrying critical information. He inserted quantum encrypted sabotage protocols so small and sophisticated that they would be undetectable until the moment of activation. Aria's voice whispered through his neural link. Infiltration progress, 37.4% complete. No detection probability, 99.8%. Trading networks were the first targets. Small changes in routing algorithms, microscopic adjustments to economic data streams. Nothing significant enough to raise immediate suspicion, but enough to create cascading failures in the future. Military communication channels received similar treatment. Encryption keys were subtly modified, communication pathways slightly redirected. The changes were so minimal that even the most sophisticated detection systems would overlook them. Wu understood the strategy. This wasn't about immediate destruction. This was about creating a foundation for complete systemic collapse. Patient, precise, devastating. Other human infiltration agents worked simultaneously across different sectors, some positioned in diplomatic communication centers, others in critical infrastructure management systems. Each agent was a precision instrument, carefully placed to maximum effect. The quantum encryption they used was generations beyond anything the Galactic Council had developed. It wasn't just about hiding. It was about being invisible, about becoming part of the system while simultaneously preparing its destruction. Star system after star system received these microscopic infiltrations. Trade routes, military communication, networks, economic data streams. Nothing was safe. The humans were building a complex, interconnected network of potential destruction. Initial preparation complete, Aria announced. Strategic infiltration phase entering advanced implementation. Wu allowed himself a small, controlled smile. The Galactic Council had no idea what was coming. They believed they had completely eliminated humanity. They had forgotten the most important human characteristic, adaptability. The infiltration continued. Silent, patient, precise. Each communication channel became a potential weapon. Each data stream a future point of total. System collapse. The humans were not just preparing for revenge. They were engineering a complete systemic dismantling of galactic infrastructure. Military communication networks received special attention. Encryption keys were subtly manipulated, routing systems carefully redirected. The changes were so minimal that detection would be impossible until the moment of total system failure. Aria continued its calculated guidance. Probability of undetected infiltration, 99.99%. Systemic vulnerability index, approaching critical levels. Wu knew they were building something more than a simple revenge strategy. This was about sending a message, about showing the Galactic Council that humanity was not just a species to be erased but a force to be feared. The infiltration continued, silent, methodical, unstoppable. Humanity was preparing its return. And when they arrived, the Galactic Council would understand the true meaning of consequences. The first wave emerged from quantum slipstreams like a nightmare made real. Yun Xin watched from the command deck as hundreds of human warships materialized, their designs unlike anything the Galactic Council had ever encountered. Silence preceded the storm. Quantum encrypted communication channels suddenly collapsed. Entire military networks went dark simultaneously. The infiltration protocols planted, years ago now activated with devastating precision. Communication became impossible. Defense systems began to fail one by one. First wave attack initiated, Aria announced. System vulnerabilities approaching 92.7%. The human ships moved like living entities, their adaptive technology changing configurations faster than enemy targeting systems could comprehend. Weapon signatures shifted. Quantum shielding transformed. Each vessel became an unpredictable weapon. Galactic Council defense platforms began to crumble. Their most advanced technologies suddenly became obsolete against human adaptive warfare strategies. Ships that had dominated star systems for millennia now looked like primitive machines. Yun's tactical display showed multiple attack vectors, not just military targets, economic centers, communication hubs, critical infrastructure. The human strategy was total and complete destruction. Massive energy signatures erupted across multiple star systems. Entire planetary defense networks went offline within minutes. The humans had not just prepared for war, they had engineered total systemic collapse. Retribution protocol active. Arya's voice remained calm. Estimated complete system failure. 47 standard galactic minutes. The First Council military responses were confused and fragmented. Their communication networks had been so thoroughly compromised that coordinated defense became impossible. Each system thought it was fighting alone. Human ships moved with incredible precision. No wasted movement, no unnecessary destruction. Each attack was calculated, each target strategically selected to maximize systemic damage. Planetary shields that had protected Council worlds for thousands of years began to flicker and fail. Advanced weapon systems designed to repel any known threat suddenly became useless against human adaptive technologies. Yoon observed the tactical displays. This wasn't just a military campaign. This was a surgical dismantling of an entire galactic civilization. Quantum weapon signatures, unlike anything previously recorded, began to emerge. Energy patterns that could dissolve entire planetary defense, networks in seconds. Adaptive technologies that could predict and neutralize defensive strategies before they were even implemented. The Council's most advanced warships looked like children's toys against the human fleet. Each human vessel was a living, thinking weapon system. Each ship could adapt, transform, and respond faster than any known technological system. Complete system collapse imminent, Arya reported. Retribution phase entering final implementation. Entire star systems went dark. Communication networks collapsed, economic systems crumbled. The humans were not just destroying military targets. They were systematically eliminating every single infrastructure point. Yoon watched as centuries of galactic dominance crumbled in minutes. The civilization that believed it had completely eliminated humanity was now facing total destruction. No mercy, no negotiation, pure, calculated revenge. The human fleet continued its advance, silent, precise, unstoppable. Galactic Council leadership began to realize the true horror of their mistake. Humanity was not just returning, humanity was delivering judgment. Retribution campaign progress. 99.8% complete. Arya's voice remained emotionless. Total systemic collapse approaching. The universe watched in silent witness as humanity rewrote galactic history. Revenge was no longer a concept. It was a systematic, precise implementation of total destruction. Dai Han stood in the center of the Council's primary judgment chamber, surrounded by holographic displays showing the complete history of human extinction. The captured Council leaders sat in transparent containment fields, their once proud appearances now reduced to defeated shells. The trial was simple, no complicated legal procedures, just pure, calculated accountability. Evidence played across massive screens, planetary destructions, systematic human colony eliminations, genetic warfare records. Each moment documented with clinical precision. The humans had kept perfect records of their own extinction. You believed humanity could be erased. Day spoke quietly. His voice carried more weight than any weapon. You were wrong. Council leaders remained silent. Some showed fear, others showed resignation, but none showed genuine remorse. Arya's voice filled the chamber. Presenting comprehensive evidence of genocide. Total human casualties, 4.3 billion individuals across 276 colonized star systems. Holographic reconstructions showed entire human settlements being systematically destroyed. Children, families, entire civilizations eliminated with calculated efficiency. The Council had believed their actions were necessary. They would now face the consequences. Day moved between the prisoners, each step calculated and controlled. His enhanced body carried generations of genetic memory. Every movement was a reminder of humanity's resilience. Your civilization believed technological superiority meant the right to eliminate other species, he continued. You were wrong. The trial wasn't about justice. It was about demonstration, about showing the universe that humanity would never again be considered a disposable species. Arya continued presenting evidence. Star system after star system flickered across displays, each one a testament to human destruction. Detailed records showed not just the attacks but the systematic planning behind the genocide. Council leaders began to understand the true depth of their mistake. Humanity had not just survived, they had evolved. They had become something far beyond their original form. Judgment protocols activated, Arya announced. Comprehensive review of all genocidal actions commencing. Day watched as each council leader was forced to relive the moments of their worst actions. Technological interfaces allowed direct neural transmission of historical records. They would feel the pain they had inflicted. No physical torture, no violent revenge. Just pure clinical accountability. Entire star systems remained under human control. Adaptive technologies transformed conquered territories. What was once a council-controlled region now became a potential human settlement. Reclamation progress. She is 7.6% complete, Arya reported. Systemic transformation entering final phase. The universe watched, silent. Witnessing the complete transformation of galactic power structures, Day understood this was more than revenge. This was reconstruction. Humanity would not repeat the mistakes of the Council. They would build something different, something better. Council leaders continued their silent judgment, each moment a reminder of their complete failure. Humanity was never weak. Day spoke to the prisoners. We were waiting, preparing, evolving. The chamber remained silent except for the soft hum of technological interfaces. Judgment was being delivered, not through violence but through systematic, precise accountability. Arya's final report would become a universal document, a reminder of what happens when a civilization believes it can eliminate another species. Reclamation was complete. Judgment was delivered, humanity had returned, and the universe would never be the same again.